Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to start collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and today we're going to take a look at the Ogor Mawtribes, and in particular their Vanguard box set, and see how we can use this particular box set to start an army of the Ogor Mawtribes in the current season of Warhammer Age of Sigmar in Andtor. We're going to go through the contents of the box set, talk a little bit about all the rules and indeed what you can build out of all these kits and the options they have within them, and then take a look next at some other units we can use to expand upon the initial box set here. We'll then finally finish off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points to hopefully give you some inspiration for starting your own army of the Ogor Mawtribes. And so, to begin with, first of all, this box set is led by a character called the Ogre Tyrant. He's a pretty solid foot hero and punches way above what you would expect for his weight. I've seen this guy completely wreck things that you would not expect him to wreck. 8 wounds and a 4+ save. He's got his Thunder Mace, which is 3 attacks at 3s and 3s, Ren 2, damage 3, and another 2 attacks with a Beast Skewer Glaive at 3s and 3s, Ren 1, damage D3. Now the Beast Skewer Glaive is pretty fun because if the unmodified hit roll for an attack made with such a weapon is targeting a hero or monster and it's a 6, the weapon's damage characteristic will be D6 rather than D3. A cool thing for the Ogres as well is you will get the Thunder Mace ability, where if the unmodified hit roll for the Thunder Mace is a 6, it will cause a mortal wound in addition to any other damage it inflicts, and if the target has 3 or more models, it will cause D3 mortal wounds instead of just 1. This means that, you can go into characters and units alike and get one of your weapons to do better against them. The Ogre Tyrant's big thing though is his big name, where you get to pick a variety of different special rules, and there are some upgrades that allow you to pick multiple of these big names, but for general it's just one. This could be anything from a ward save to units treated as being a monster for the purpose of trampling charge, which means you get more mortal wounds on your charge. You can have a better save, you can have better move, you can also increase the damage you do to monsters as well as the rend improving against units inside garrisons. Lastly though, you have Bully of the First Degree, where if a friendly Ogor Mawtribes unit ever fails a battle shock test within 3 inches of this model, only one model will flee, as they're more scared of what the Tyrant is going to do to them than whatever the enemy is going to do to them. Now, joining this model, we then have a battle line unit, which is the only pure battle line unit we have available to the Ogor Mawtribes in the Ogre Gluttons. 6 models at standard at 240 points, but we do get 4 wounds each and a 5+ save. They have the option for either paired clubs or a single one. The difference here will be between 3 or 4 attacks. Other than that, they are 3s and 3s, Ren 1, damage 2. Now, we do have the Iron Fist as well, and this will go if we take the single hand weapon. As you can see pictured here, the Gluttons have single hand weapon and Iron Fists. What this does is anytime you make a save roll of a 6, you will potentially do some mortal wounds back to your opponent. Now, Lead Belchers are next. They are another unit we have available, and they are effectively ogres that are holding cannons, ship cannons, just, hauling them around as if they were little handguns. So these weapons here have D3 attacks each at 4s and 3s, Ren 1, damage 1, and the Thunderous Blast of Hot Metal means if the unit remains stationary, they'll get 2 D3 attacks instead of D3. We then have 2 Mournfang Cavalry, which are an Ogre Heavy Cavalry unit. They have 6 wounds each and a 4+ save, and they've got an option between either having their Culling Clubs and Hackers, which are 3 attacks at 3s and 3s, Ren 1, damage 2, or dropping down to 2 attacks but going 4s and 3s, Ren 2, damage 3 with the Gargant Hackers you can see here. Now, next, we have a dual kit within the box set, and this can either be the Iron Blaster, or it can be the Noblar Scrap Launcher. The Iron Blaster is the more expensive option at 200 points. Now, this is going to have its Cannonball, which is 2 attacks at a 30-inch range, 4s and 3s, Ren 2, damage D3 plus 3, though it does have a Hail Shot or a Grape Shot variation, which is much less damage, 10 attacks at 3s and 3s, Ren 1, damage 2. Other than that, you've got the Lethal Payload, where each time a unit shoots, you choose one of the 2 weapons, and the Rhinox Charge means you add 1 to the damage when it actually charges, so it can be a nice combat piece if needed as well. The Noblar Scrap Launcher, on the other hand, has a attacks profile that is for the Load 'em Up ability. So what this does is the attacks characteristic of piles of scrap is equal to the number of models in the target unit up to a maximum of 20, and then that attack will have the profile 4s and 3s, Ren 1, damage 1. Now, you do have the ability to load it up, so at the start of your shooting phase, you can pick a friendly Noblar unit, hold it within 9 inch, and roll 2d6. If the roll is less than the number of models in the Noblar unit, you add 1 to your hit rolls for attacks made by this unit piles of old scrap until the end of that phase. Today's video is brought to you by Gap Games, a fantastic retailer in Australia for a variety of different miniature war games. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have an affiliate link where by clicking on and purchasing, you'll help support the channel, but you'll also help support Gap Games, which is a fantastic servant to the community. And so, looking at where to go next, obviously in the current season we are talking about wizards, and the Ogor Mawtribes do have quite a few wizards that can become Andtorian locusts. The first of these is the Ogre Butcher. Now, the Ogre Butcher has 7 wounds and a 5+ save, so they're definitely on the sort of upper heavy wounds of these Andtorian locusts, which is pretty cool. It means they are that little bit more survivable. It's a 1 cast and 1 unbind wizard, which has the Blood Gruel ability, so you roll a dice each time this unit successfully casts or unbind a spell. On a 2+, you heal 1 wound, but on a 1 you will suffer a wound. And Voracious Maw is the War Scroll spell, which is actually pretty fun. You roll a dice, do some mortal wounds to your enemy, and keep rolling. If you keep hitting that 4+, you keep doing mortal wounds until you either fail or the unit is dead. On the other hand, we have the Slaughtermaster as another option. It's the Ogre drawing the Cauldron behind them. 7 wounds and a 5+ save again. But you will have the Blood Gruel ability, so on a ability to heal or take some mortal wounds depending on what you roll. But the Great Cauldron is the big thing here, where you can give some abilities out to friendly ogres nearby, and the most important of all is Spine Marrow to add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made with melee weapons by friendly ogres. Now, you've also got Rock Chomper as well, where it can change the Gulping Bite battle trait to cause D6 mortal wounds on a 4+ instead of 3, which is pretty cool. Now, lastly, we have for our wizards in the Firebelly. Now, the Firebelly is an interesting one. Fire-breathing ogre, he's sort of quite different to all the other ogres we have. His Fire Breath is a nice sort of ranged attack. They're going to get up to 10 attacks with it, at 2s and 3s, no rend damage 1. But he has Cascading Fire Cloak to boost his own defensive power and give some mortal wound splashback against any enemies that get in combat with him. Lastly, though, another unit to consider picking up for your force is definitely some Nobblers. These provide the Ogor Mawtribes with some really good bodies on the table. 20 bodies of Nobblers are dirt cheap at 120 points. They are 6 and 1 for their save and wounds respectively, but nasty traps and tricks means you can actually cause your opponent to suffer some mortal wounds if they ever decide to move near your Nobblers as well. And so here we have our sample armies for the ogres. Now, we've gone for the sub-faction here, which is going to be the Blood Gullet. This one really does benefit taking some of the wizards, and what it does is friendly Blood Gullet Butchers will know an extra spell from the Law of Gut Magic. In addition, friendly Blood Gullet Butchers can attempt to cast 1 extra spell. Now, Blood Gullet Butchers, it does say the keyword Butcher, so this means both your Slaughtermaster and Butcher will get the benefit, but unfortunately not the Firebelly. Now, we've gone the grand strategy here, which is going to be ready for plunder. When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if there are more friendly units hold within enemy territory than enemy units. And then we've got a triumph as we are 10 point under for inspired. Now, we've then gone with our Tyrant, who is going to have our artifact for the army. Now, the artifact we've gone for here is the Gruesome Trophy Rack that actually adds 1 to hit rolls by friendly Gutbuster units. It is a wholly within 12 inch to target a monster or a hero. And then he's got the big name as well of Death Cheater, which is going to give the model a ward save. Our Slaughtermaster, on the other hand, will be our General, and what this model has gone for command trait is Eye of the Blizzard, which will allow us to potentially roll for an additional primal magic dice. And the spells we've gone for on the model, a Greasy Deluge first of all. This one is going to subtract 1 from hit rolls that are targeting one of our units, and then Hoarfrost as well, because we only have to select the extra spell from the Law of Gut Magic. The first spell we could select could be from any law, so we've gone Hoarfrost to get some extra rend in our force. We then have 6 Ogre Gluttons who have got a tribal banner with Lookout Nobbler to give us some protection against shooting, and the paired Ogre Clubs or Blunt Blades. 4 Lead Belchers as well fill out our battle line requirements, and then we've got the Nobbler Scrap Launcher in here along with the Mournfang Pack. Now, the reason we got the Scrap Launcher is this does allow us to include the Slaughtermaster in the force, otherwise we'd be adding pretty much nothing to the box set, which I think we definitely need that wizard to take advantage of the Andtorian Locust and get some nice buffs up. The Scrap Launcher, though, is going to provide us some good stuff here to help thin out some hordes or some cheap chaff, things like Grots or Skaven. That'll be really good at helping get rid of. Meanwhile, you know, we've got some good punch in the Mournfang Pack, the Gluttons, and indeed the Tyrant as well. But if you've got some ideas on how to start with the Ogor Mawtribes in the current season of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our great little community we have here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel, be that via Patreon or YouTube members, or by grabbing yourself some merch, whether that's stickers, t-shirt, mugs, or anything from our Teespring store as well, or by using our affiliate links, which are also linked down in the description as well, that go a long way to helping support the channel. As a special thank you to all our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to Andy C, Grimskull, Colorblind Magic, Iron Grinch, Benjamin Swallers, James Cater, Mark Harvey, Domir, Average Wargamer, JJ Austrian, Cure Dynamic, Andrew Bowen, Alderin Shot First, Kendall, Soren, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lockloric, The Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Monty Stabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, John Castle, and Gargamel196. Thank you all so much for helping support the channel. It means the absolute world to us. Please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Once again, everyone, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.